Hello and welcome everyone to The Late Apex, a brand new show here at Apex Racing TV where we'll be taking a look at what's happening in the sim racing world with news, reviews and of course games between myself, Tim Cox and Sam Fitzpatrick, who'll be joining me on the sofa. And well, let's get things kick-started with iRacing, I think.
Yes, yeah, plenty of new content to iRacing, which is always fantastic. Of course, we had week 13 very recently, and a lot of surprise additions as well, Tim, which was quite nice. I wasn't really predicting a lot of this stuff, so iRacing surprised us, and we're very pleased about it.
Quite a few people expecting Manicourt to drop. That didn't happen. However, what we did get was the chance to add a new virtual stamp in our passport, wasn't it? In the first trip, first time ever, we're heading across to Norway with you could say it so much better than myself.
Skogen.
Thank you.
Is what I've gone for, at least. But yeah, it's a really good addition to the sim, of course, and of course, great to have a Scandinavian circuit for the first time in the sim. Of course, so many Scandinavians already on iRacing. And whilst we didn't have Manicourt, I feel like Skogen is quite similar in a way. Certainly the track layout, when you look at it all sketched out, it sort of reminds...
I'm seeing it ever so slightly,
yeah. With the chicane slightly. But of course, with this being free content, it's part of the base content, it's going to be a circuit that the drivers use a lot from the rookie levels into D, C, even B class series.
Could it become the new Summit Point?
Yeah, perhaps, or New Okayama, like that kind of tier of circuit potentially. So I personally really like it, so I'm very pleased about this. We did, of course, the commentators race last week. We did indeed. And I had a lot of fun. It's really tricky, really challenging, but it really has all the elements of a circuit, I think.
Well, who doesn't love a freebie? Let's face it. And of course, then it doesn't end there really at all, does it? There's a short trip across Europe and the Oschersleben track in Germany, another brand new circuit to iRacing. And I think a little bit overdue this one, Sam, isn't it really? I think quite a few people have been asking for it for a while. You know, we've got Hockenheim Ring and the Nürburgring as well, obviously both incarnations. So I think it's another good addition, isn't it, really?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was surprised when I found out that this circuit's only been around for sort of 25 years or so. I mean, I think of it as being, a lot older, 30 or 40 years. So, no, it's a really cool circuit.
I think it's going to be a really good addition. I'm looking forward to getting stuck in around there. Maybe hustling an LMP2 around there. I think that could be quite good fun.
Yeah.
Could be quite good fun, that one. And well, I think this is one of the most interesting developments. The first electric car to iRacing, the Porsche Mission R. Sam, love it or hate it, electric cars are, they're coming and they're getting more and more into motor racing. We've now got a dedicated all-electric touring car series, of course, Formula E, that's been with us for numerous years now. And iRacing has finally taken the plunge into the world of electricity power.
Yeah, I think they've been a little bit reluctant to go down this route for a few years now. They're maybe a little bit behind the times with that. So very interesting that they have now opened, and is this the floodgates opening or whether it's just going to be a one-off potentially. But it is a really interesting addition. Of course, a crazy car. I mean, over 1,000 big horsepower does the Mission R. So it's a very unique car, nothing like it on iRacing.
It's going to be interesting to see how that one develops. And, well, let's cross into R Factor 2. And with their new content they've released recently, there's a real British feel about this one, Sam, isn't there? We've got 4 new cars, and we're going to kickstart things off with the Caterham Academy car, which is free of charge. Always good. We all love a freebie. You're going to absolutely love this one, isn't it? You're from Norfolk. There's going to be zero bias here, is there?
No, it's the best car in the world. And so, yeah, brilliant news that's been added as well for free. Of course, everyone knows, I think, Caterham's, they're just the ultimate, I think, sort of track day car, I'd say, in terms of kit car, I guess.
Next up, Sam, it's a car that I'm really looking forward to with this one. The Mini Cooper S. Well, it's the Austin version. The old school, you can see it on the screen behind us right now. And I mean, what these cars, when they came along, Sam, they just took the world by storm, both on the road and in the motor racing arena as well. And to see a pack of these heading round somewhere like Brands Hatch or Alton Park, I tell you what, it's going to be absolutely epic racing.
Absolutely, yeah, I want to be in one of those races. Just like, yeah, 10 minutes, Brands Hatch Indy, and see what happens pretty much with 60 of those things. It'd be absolutely mega.
And, well, moving on to the next piece of content, well, they've been adding more and more recently. It is, of course, the British touring cars, Sam. Obviously, with the dedicated game being delayed, it's been transposed across into Art Factor 2, and we've got another 2 more being added to the sim yet again. We've got the Toyota Corolla and the Infiniti Q50, and now they're going to be joined by the Hyundai i30 and the Ford Focus. I mean, it's a shame we haven't got the dedicated game, but great that this content is coming across into our Factor 2 as well.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, like, it's sort of a silver lining, isn't it? That at least like the work that's gone into those cars will be at least used partially. And yeah, it's we're always going to support kind of new British touring cars on whatever sim.
But then moving on to the next piece of content that we've got coming out of R Factor 2 right now. Well, it's a new track and very different to what we've just seen in terms of the content. It's an oval, Gateway Motorsport Park, but most people will probably know it as the Worldwide Technology Raceway. And we're going to have both the oval and the infield layouts within R Factor 2, but I get the feeling that the oval's going to be used quite a bit more than the infield, Sam.
Yes, yeah, I think so. I mean, it's one of the biggest circuits sorts of in North American motorsport now, because I think a few years ago it was looking like maybe they would pretty much shut down racing there. But now they've got NASCAR, they've got the Cup Series, and they've also got IndyCar as well. So it's a very highly regarded circuit. And so really important that they kind of added it to the sim, because yeah, it's, you know, one of the biggest circuits, road or oval, in the North American motorsport scene. So yeah, really good to see that one added. I do not know the road course, if I'm honest. I quite like ovals, to be fair. I'm very open-minded to ovals, but even I am not familiar with it, so I might need to give it a test.
Let's move across from oval racing to something a bit different now. Of course, Rennsport. It's coming. It's going to be interesting, isn't it, Sam? I mean, they've released recently that they are taking entries and you can register interest to take part in the closed beta. I know a few of the drivers here within the Apex Racing team. They've went along to the open day that they had. They tested the game and, well, chance to take them on track effectively now and join in with the testing.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we're still kind of limited content available at the moment, just a couple of cars and a couple of circuits at the moment. But it's good that sort of progress is being made, that we're going on to the next stage. And yeah, I think that beta is going to be open to many more people. They're saying by the end of the year. So I think you can apply to basically a waiting list. And then if you're fortunate, then you will get access to it. And then, well, hopefully sometime next year, maybe we'll get access to the full game. But we'll have to wait and see.
We will have to wait and see. It's going to be an interesting one, this, for me, Sam. I mean, you've currently only 2 cars available, the Porsche 911 GT3 and the BMW M4 GT3. Hockenheimring, we've seen pictures as well of Goodwood as well being available. That's this track I'd like to see in a few more sims, as well as a few other tracks as well. So, not a raft of content, but then at the end of the day, Sam, it is only a beta. You're not going to expect, close to being a full game, are you?
Absolutely not. And like, we've got a lot of content on other sims, I guess, don't we? So I mean, hopefully kind of Rennsport offers something quite different for, you know, us sim racers, besides just cars that maybe we have already. If they had all the GT3 cars, be like, we've already got that. But hopefully, you know, with the physics and with the way that they're developing it, kind of getting feedback from many pro drivers at the moment, hopefully they've really made something special.
For me, the really interesting part of this is the esports aspect. And sim racing and esports, as I'm sure as many of you at home, being sim racers as well, can appreciate, it doesn't get enough love and respect compared to other games like Counter-Strike, Dota, for example, where the real big money is. And with the backing of ESL that Rennsport have and the partnership that they've struck up, I think this could be a really interesting sim to see how this develops and just how many people end up driving it as well as out of the competitive scene.
Yeah, and it could be quite a different kind of esports kind of model to what we're used to. Potentially very big competitions being held on Rennsport. So it will be very interesting to see kind of what progress is made over the next couple of years with kind of that work.
Now, if you have any news that you think we're missing out on at all, or your opinions, we always love to hear them. We have you can check us out on the Apex Racing TV Discord, where you can share links alongside any news or any elements of content or humour stories or anything like that that you have whatsoever. Always love to hear them. We'll feature them during the show, so make sure you check that out. There'll be a link down below in the description where you can join in and be part of the show. But right now we're going to head across to an advert, and then we'll be back on the other side where myself and Sam will be taking on each other in one of the first of many competitions that we'll be having across the shows. Well, welcome back, and it's competition time as Sam and myself are going to be taking on each other head-to-head in a series of challenges each and every week. But this week, it's time to really test our commentary knowledge. And Sam, are you ready for this one?
Yes, I am truly ready for this one. There's a lot at stake, of course. Who's the better commentator amongst us two? Wow. And also, should we be commentators? Because if we do badly at this, then I think we may as well pack up and leave.
Setting ourselves up for a bit of a fall here with this one. So we've got 6 tracks, each against the clock. Can we get them all right?
I don't think you will get all of mine, I must say.
Oh,
let's
careful's here from Sam Fitzpatrick already, and we've the trash talk already beginning. It's after a really good sign. Well, Sam, do you want to go first?
I am well up for going first. So I'll have about 5 seconds to do each of these tracks, and we're just naming the track this week to see how many we can get. So yeah, let's see if I can nail these ones. Okay, so that is Barcelona.
Correct.
Excellent stuff. Okay, so it's 1 out of 1. Let's see if I can get the
100%.
next 5.
Pressure's on, Sam. Can you maintain that?
Okay, that's Indianapolis. But that's the old sort of weavy bit. Personally, despise that section, but it did take me a while, that one. Interlagos, just going down the pit lane into looking back down.
I really need to raise my game here.
And I'm feeling very confident right now. Okay. Okay, this is Oran Park then, and this is just over the bridge over the cut through. Of course, you have a little bit of a kart circuit around that area as well. And then this one is Road America, just outside of the kink there. Very fun corner, particularly any GT cars. I think I've just got one more to go, and that is, of course, my home circuit, Snetterton. And I believe that is turn 2. At Snetterton, if I recall correctly. So, lovely stuff. So,
wow, pressure's on.
Yeah,
100%.
You wish you went first now, don't you?
I do, yeah. It would have maybe put a little bit more pressure on. What have you picked for me, Sam?
Well, you got to tell me.
Let's find out. Oh, straight in. So, Interlagos? No, it's Fuji. Of course it's Fuji. I should have known that. Well, you've won this one already, Sam. Now, just try and recover things. Summit Point? Oh, no, Smonta. Oh,
I thought the curves would give it away.
I'm floundering already. That is Fuji. It's down the straight, isn't it?
No.
Oh, God, this is terrible.
Come on,
right country.
Come on, Tim. You got this.
Interlagos?
No.
Oh no, this is shocking.
I mean, you're going to have to clear your desk.
I am, yeah. I'll just, I'll get my P45.
This one was a tricky one.
No, Yeah, I've never done Sandown, so I'll dig myself out on that one. And that is Donington. Oh no, Snetterton.
Dear me,
I should have
I've never
gone
seen
that.
a career
Oh,
fall from such great
what a
heights
fall
before.
from grace, Sam. What a fall from grace. It's all the pressure you put on me. We're getting
I
them
think,
all
to
right.
be fair, there was a difficulty difference, I think, between the two
Yes,
of us.
there
But
was.
yeah, I'll take it nonetheless. It's only 1 point, though, I think, for this week.
There is, Sam,
I
yeah.
won't be that
Yeah.
harsh for that one. But yeah, there you go.
Well, love to know how you did at home. I'm sure it can't be any worse than what I did. Now let's take a look at the week ahead here at Apex Racing TV, Sam. Of course, we've got new season starting, plenty of action to whet the appetite with, and kicking things off on Tuesday, where we've got Rikmatek. They'll be on Apex Racing TV for the Rikmatek Classic Sprint Series. Then Wednesday, well, if you're of the Norwegian language persuasion, we have got the Norgesmesterskap and that's their Porsche section of the championship. Of course, that's all in Norwegian language, and you can still enjoy good racing, can't you? Though
Absolutely, and because we also have the Rallycross series as well, alternating on each week.
do.
So yeah, this week it's the Porsches, but yeah, tune in every Wednesday for action on that.
And then Friday, this man's very happy about it. He loves the Radical. It's the Radical Racing Challenge. Always great action from that one. Saturday, we'll be here in the studio for the Apex Racing Academy F3 VRS Super Series. And then later in the evening, it's the Formula Renault 3.5 Championship. On Sunday, well, it's the usual big grid, big action series. The SRF Weekend Warriors will be kicking things off. And then we have IGP Fun F3 to just round things off of what's going to be an absolute epic week ahead. But let's talk about some of those series, Sam. Now, Formula Renault 3.5, I covered it all last season. Eddie Samborski, what a machine this guy was. He picked up a record 11 wins last season from 12 races. It was only Jason Sieg at Phillip Island who managed to break that complete sweep of 12 from 12.
Yeah, like to show that pace once or twice is impressive, and also to show that pace, the actual pace element throughout a season. I think we've seen it before, but that consistency, it's not making those mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you mess up qualifying, then that could be it. You know, that could be your run over. You only got 2 laps in qualifying. If you have a spin on one, if you pick up a 1x on the other, then you're in massive trouble. So it was super impressive. I kind of covered the second half of last season, and yeah, I think he summed it up well. He's just a machine. He's so dialed into that car because he's just been driving it for years.
There are some drivers that are going to take the fight to him. We've got Jason Sieg, Josh Stewart has really come on leaps and bounds. Shane Lambert, a little bit of a dark horse to watch out for, amongst others. And, well, Ranchon, another really cracking driver too. There's plenty out there, but they're all struggling a little bit for the consistency. It'd be great to see if someone could take the fight to Samborski. SRF Weekend Warriors, Sam, what an amazing series this is. So this is in the Ford Spec Racer, a car that I personally could not drive whatsoever. Not a lot of people, it doesn't get the love and respect of anywhere near compared to certainly like GT3s, but always, week after week, for these guys, 40 cars is a small grid. 40. Formula Renault 3.5 we're just talking about, the maximum grid you can have on that is 25. Now they're at Barber Motorsport Park, a track, Sam, which, well, it's fun to lap around and hot lap, but overtaking there's a real challenge at the best of times.
Yeah, definitely. And you sort of got that downhill section, haven't you, got into the left-handed hairpin, which is sort of your one opportunity to go for a move. Everywhere else is going to be extremely tricky. So, yeah, that will be a very crowded circuit for that one. But great to see the championship back. It's always a fun one to watch.
Just mentioning, obviously, about your... You mentioned a bit how it alternates between Porsche and Rallycross. We had Rallycross previously. It's now on to the Porsche races for Norgesmesterskap, and that's going to be on Wednesday, Sam. I think it's always going to be great action. As we mentioned earlier, as much as its commentary is in Norwegian, you don't have to understand the language to appreciate good racing, do you?
Absolutely not. And it's a very serious championship, is this one. And we have loads of Norwegians who take part in other Apex Racing TV series. And I know they've been talking about this championship for a fair few months. I know a lot of them took part in the ARA Porsche Cup just for preparation for this this upcoming championship. So it's really serious stuff. I think some of the best drivers in Norway are taking part. So it's going to be tricky for anyone to come out on top of that one. Even if it's just a regional championship, it's, I think, probably one of the most competitive regional championships on all of iRacing.
Oh, definitely. Radicals, we mentioned, your baby.
Yes.
New car, well, second season of the new car now. And there's been a few changes, hasn't there?
Yeah, so I think to the actual physics of the car, I don't think it's changed too much necessarily, but I think the setups have changed quite considerably. They've taken on the feedback, so credit to iRacing, credit to the Radical community as well for kind of designing a few better sets for this upcoming season. I think the main problem before was just the tyres, how they would just overheat within half a race, and these aren't particularly long races either, like 25 minutes long. So it was quite a big problem, but that seems to have sort of been resolved now. And I think we saw that with Erin Barber, who sort of struggled with that element last season, really strong in the SR8, struggling with the SR10 last season, but then jumped in or earlier in the week and managed to take the round 1 victory. And we wait to see if he can do it again at Okayama.
Yeah, that's on Friday nights. Make sure you tune in for that one, see if he can definitely pick up where he's left off. Now, something a little bit special that's happening here at Apex Racing TV is we are holding an open day, in which we're having a tournament which will be broadcast from the studio. There'll be hot lap competitions, opportunity to get your hands on some of the unreleased hardware, namely this steering wheel here. It's absolute beauty. Get your hands on one of these and have a try out of that. Absolutely lovely steering wheel. And also up for grabs is one of the competition prizes. Oh, those paddles, aren't they, as well, Sam?
Yes, and yeah, these are some pretty mega prizes. Also, you can win yourself a rig as well. So really, thanks to VRS for offering such an awesome prize pool. And yeah, that's really open to anyone. So as long as you get a ticket, as long as you sign up, then you can get yourself into a prize raffle, and then you're going to win one of these prizes.
How much are the tickets, though, Sam? Surely, for all this opportunity, you know, great fun. Oh, it's a free barbecue as well. I mean, surely you've got to talking what, £100, 5 million?
Thinking, surely,
but Sam.
No, it is all free.
What?
So
free,
as
Sam?
long as you order online before the event starts, then you can turn up and it's all for free. If you get to the day of the event and you want to turn up, you can. It's 10 quid, but still, you know, you can arrive at the door and we won't kick you out.
Grab yourself a free ticket. Well, as we said earlier about some of the free content that's been coming to The Sims, everything in life, you can't go wrong if it is free, and gives yourself a chance to get your hands on some of these great items. But wow, thanks very much for joining us. It's been, well, fun, entertainment. It's great to have you on board. And I can't believe you destroyed me in the first game.
This might be your last episode.
I think, yeah, I'm off to go hang myself in shame completely after that one. But from myself, Tim Cox and Sam Fitzpatrick, we'll see you in a week's time on Late Apex.